So you guys need to hear this. I figured it out. So here's what it is, and I realized like that how important it is for me to tell you guys this because this is the truth. This is what goes down. So if you guys are being targeted by people in your community or something like narcissistic stalkers or whatever it might be, then you might relate to this. But also, in general, you might just relate to this in terms of like how this matrix operates, right? So what's going on is that these people, they gave up. You understand? They gave up their lives. Ah, yeah, there we go. It's too bright. So you realize is what's going on is that the people who are trying to attack you, the people who are trying to take you down, the reason that they're trying to take you down is because they do not have control of their own lives. So what I've noticed in this process of being gang stalked, in this process of having narcissistic people gang up and come against me, is that they want to control aspects about your life. And I mean that literally. These narcissistic gang stalkers, ooh, they want to control when you shit, piss. They want to control your bodily functions. They want to control when you eat, when you drink, when you do the opposite of that, right? They want to control when you eat, what you eat, when you drink, what you drink, and when and where you release those things, and then when and where those things exit your body as well. And what you realize is that part of gang stalking, part of this narcissistic community stalking, what you realize is the reason that it goes down, right, is because you stand out in a certain level where they are actually scared. They're scared that you might obtain freedom. So if you are working on shit, that's what happened to me, dude. You know what I'm saying? I graduated college, right? But I realized pretty quickly that it was not gonna let me, graduating with my degree, I realized pretty quickly that it was not gonna be able to get me a job where I could make enough money to get everything that I needed and then quit and then start my own business, which was always my plan. I never intended on working a job for the rest of my life, like obviously, but a lot of people do. A lot of people do intend on that and they do sign up for that. I don't know. That's just who they are. So people in my community noticed, people around me noticed, and they heard and caught wind through all kinds of means, and they monitor your internet as well. So after they caught wind, they start monitoring your internet. After they catch wind of it, they start monitoring your phones, your internet. And these narcissists in my community, they saw me putting in these 18-hour days of work on my business, working, right? So they saw me saving up money, buying all the things I needed, and then buying time, right? So buying all the technology I needed, then buying time to work on the shit that I needed to do. And I did. And they can't take that away because I did it. Already did it. It's already in the past, right? So that's why I can speak on this. And so they want to call me smug because they see that as I worked 18-hour days and figured shit out, I figured out what I needed to do. So throughout that process, I figured out what I needed to do, and I figured out how I can figure things out. which can't apply to you. It's only something that applies to me. It doesn't apply to you. It might help you if I told you, but it might not. So you understand? So what it is they see this, they catch wind, and they're threatened because they see, oh, he thinks that he's going to live a life where he gets to decide when he eats and drinks. He thinks that he's going to get to live a life where he decides where he gets to wake up when he thinks that. And see, they're all mad because they saw me and they said, who does this guy think he is? He thinks that he's going to end up living a life where he gets to decide when he wakes up and when he eats and drinks. And that threatened them and offended them. Because these are the people, these narcissists that stalk you, these people are the managers at Dunkin' Donuts. They're a Dunkin' Donuts manager. They're a manager for TJ Maxx. They're a manager for Bank of America. They're a manager for they're probably maybe a manager for a sector at the CIA or the FBI or Department of Homeland Security, right? Maybe they work at the fire station and, you know, they're a volunteer and they get paid with gift cards or whatever. Who knows, right? You ever thought about that too? Where because people have been reporting firefighters and people have been reporting because people on YouTube, I've seen many videos of people reporting firefighters, and then when you think about it, it's like, oh, they're volunteers. Oh yeah, how are you a volunteer? How is anybody a volunteer? You're gonna volunteer to work and get paid nothing when people can't even live with the jobs they're working. People can't even live off of $20 an hour or $22 an hour these days. So, but you're a volunteer firefighter, yeah, get the fuck out of here. They definitely get paid in gift cards, right? And I'm sure they obviously take on these side tasks to gang stalk people to get extra pay. So, but anyways, so what it is so in summary, so what it is that this is what they do. They want to come after you and they want to attack you because they see that you are aware that you deserve to live a life of freedom. They see that you know that you deserve to be able to decide when and where you eat food, when and where you wake up, and when and where you drink water and piss, right? Because that's the thing, these narcissists, they're really consumed with trying to control your bodily functions, because I'm not even kidding, because they can't control their own. They cannot control their diet. They can't control their emotions. So they wake up every day. They can't fast. They don't know how to. God will not let them. These gang stalkers, what you got to realize, bro, is that God will not let gang stalkers fast. Because the only way that you can fast is by having some form of connection to God. You understand? And so these people, they're so infested by demons that the demons make them eat shit every day. And so they wake up and they eat their bacon or whatever it is. They don't have the ability to, right? Now, there might be some other nuances to that where people try to do things, but so that's why it's so important that if you're being targeted by people in your community, you know, that you stay aware of the things they're doing and you actively call for it to be backfired. You have to actively call it out. Because if you don't, then you run the risk of some of the things that they try to set on you actually happening. When you call it out and you send it back, there's absolutely no chance. So you have to make sure So you got to make sure that you stay locked in with God. You got to make sure that you stay locked in, calling out to the angels. You don't need a Bible to have a relationship with God. If you think that that Bible is going to save you, you're wrong. The Bible was written by Freemasons. You know what I'm saying? You don't like it, you want to tell me to go to hell. Don't waste your time. I don't care. I don't care what you think. If you want to tell me to go to hell in the comments for saying that the Bible was written by Freemasons, the Bible was written by Freemasons. I'm sorry. It is. I'm not going to lie. So, don't even waste your time in the comments trying to tell me, go to hell. So, this is what it is, right? So, you see, the people, as you see, that want to be in these managerial positions or these gang stalkers, right? They are unable to control any aspect of their life. So, they want to become the people that took away control from them. So you see,